PROSA. PROSA. PROSA.
Militants and cadres of the avant-garde party. Exponent and proponent of social justice, academic freedom, and gender equality. Members of the press, I bring you warm fraternal revolutionary greetings from the epicenter of genuine advocacy and political enlightenment of the University of Liberia and the Avant-Garde Progressive Students Alliance of the State-run university. And heartfelt greetings to the vast majority of our Liberians. I bring you revolutionary greetings from the men that controls the Chapata sessions, the joint sessions of Africa's biggest repository of genuine advocacy, the Pan-African and New Progressive Movement, the Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia. Requesting a Dr. Helo Debbie Man, the most powerful man on the campuses of the University of Liberia. By the way of introduction, I am former revolutionary, a cadre, a female gladiator, former revolutionary, General Irreplaceable Joe, the chairperson of the Women Presidium of the Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia. She's the president one of our party. Reading contemporary biology with emphasis in revolutionary science and guerrilla tactics. Let me inform you about our gallery today. Today, the party is going to speak on critical national issues affecting students of the University of Liberia, the delay in the renovation process of the university infrastructure. These are issues of previous that the party will be addressing. Today, I'm not one Liberia was founded September 25, 2015 under the umbrella of the Famous Student Association.
Professor to PROSA, Zayo. The Green Revolution, Zayo. You got to turn this in, Zayo. Mana, Luther.
The African Progressive Student Alliance was founded on ideological basis. When the university decided to increase tuition fees on the state-run university, puncture married male and females took up the mantle of authority. So he ran the necessary checkpoints that were parading on the campuses of the University of Liberia. Against the backdrop, the Progressive Student Alliance elected FISA, Transmogofa, in what we call today the Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia. The Avant-Garde Party have a unique doctrine and philosophy. Egalitarianism is a doctrine that states that everyone are equal based on their social or moral status.
Political, social, economic, religious, egalitarianism, Zayo. Mana, Luther.
The topology of the Avant-Garde Party was built on the sweat and blood of militant cadres that bled for this party. So today we are happy to be one of the vibrant political parties on the campuses of the University of Liberia. Today we can sit on round tables with administrators and
the Progressive Student Alliance, the fighting spirit of the Progressive Student Alliance,
to discuss critical issues affecting students of the state-run university.
The party is here to stay, Zayo. The revolutionary potential of the Avant-Garde Party, Zayo. Reactionary tendency.
Today, I'm now the former speaker. History is meant to be obeyed, not to be argued. I'm going to reduce my height to the turn of a decimal and call upon comrade revolutionary, the co-chair of the intellectual disco of the Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia. Comrade Lila Justin J. Chalaba Yamahono.
Viva
viva, 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 PROSA, viva,
Viva!
viva, 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 Avant-Garde Party, viva,
Viva!
Béyan, Avant-Garde Party, Béyan, Avant-Garde Party, Béyan.
Zayo is the culture on the intellectual disco community. Zayo intellectual personal. Zayo ideological personal. Zayo mana Zayo is about to go in there. Zayo mana Luther.
Down, violence, down, reactionary, down. Forward, progressivism, forward. Comrades, compeers, intellectual foot soldiers, ideological defenders, convinced egalitarians, commissars of egalitarianism, permit me now to use this opportunity to bring you warm and heartfelt revolutionary greetings, packaged in egalitarianism, social justice, and academic freedom, from the sacred office of the man who presides over the tripartite sections, cross sections, and joint sections of Africa's fastest growing neo-progressive mass-based student movement, the revolutionary avant-garde progressive student alliance of the University of Liberia. Comrades, members of the press, the revolutionary avant-garde progressive student alliance of the University of Liberia has convened, in keeping with its sacred revolutionary responsibility, another press conference. Whenever there are critical issues that border around the peace, stability of the state, the forward march and advancement of the Liberian people, it is always the responsibility of the revolutionary avant-garde progressive student alliance of the University of Liberia to render her opinion. This institution has never gone tight-lipped. This institution has never gone into taciturnity on critical national issues. So today again is another sacred revolutionary responsibility that the institution will be speaking to the public on cross sessions of critical national issues. But permit me, before I introduce the official speaker, the official messenger of the powerful message today, permit me to recognize few parties, stalwarts, and committed disciplined cadres of the full revolutionary bench of the avant-garde progressive student alliance of the University of Liberia. Comrades, permit me to zoom in the man who is the co-chair for political affairs. He is a disciplined cadre of the revolutionary avant-garde progressive student alliance of the University of Liberia. He's no other person but former revolutionary Paul Wamoyan. In our ranks, we refer to him as Oliver Tambo. Permit me to also zoom in the man who is the chairperson on the Intellectual Discourse Committee, the man who controls the intellectual property of the revolutionary avant-garde progressive student alliance of the University of Liberia. Is no other person but former revolutionary William B. Sando. We refer to him as rank as Shepuvira. Permit me again to zoom in a fearless female gladiator, very brilliant. She is unique and in her own league of intellectualism. She's no other person but she is the female that presides over the women presidium of our party. Whenever the militants, the cadres of our party are summoned before history, whenever we sustain wounds, these are the people that always run to our aid with the bandage. These are the people who always run to our aid to see how best that they can soften and treat our wounds. But no other person, just listen to the brilliant presentation and the historical play-by-play analysis. She's no other person but comrade revolutionary, general by irreplaceable Joe.
Long live! Long live the undying spirit of President One. Long live!
Long live!
Long live! Long live the undying spirit of the most powerful woman on the campuses of the University of Liberia. Long live!
Long live!
Viva, Priscilla One, viva!
Viva!
Viva, Priscilla One, viva!
Viva!
She presides over the women presidium of our party. Comrades, it is a daunting task and a very difficult and a rare moment. Again, we have been given another sacred responsibility to introduce the most powerful man on the campuses of the University of Liberia.
Sir.
He is the official communicator of the Revolutionary Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia. By the matter of fact, in our institution, we respect his gallantry and his fortitude. It is from his intellect that we all have drawn as militants and cadres of the Revolutionary Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia. We can remember that there was a time that his blood became a justification for our existence. So today, I'm clothed with the authority to introduce to you, even though this is a responsibility that I do not merit the qualification to do, but permit me to introduce to you the most erudite, the most celebrated, the most venerated, and the most revered student leader in the youth and student community of the Republic of Liberia. Let me introduce to you the man whose power credentials have overwhelmed his peers in his generation. Permit me now to introduce to you the man who has earned the name Raul Castro, the man who has fought many battles. He has never surrendered to reactionaries. Permit me now to introduce to you Comrade Revolutionary Commissar, Chairperson Dr. Hila Dewa, our own leader and teacher. I say to you, ladies and gentlemen of the press, I say to you, Comrade Revolutionary Chairperson, you have the audience, you can speak to the press.
Okay,
folks, let's continue. University of Liberia, and I'm Sylvester Chulupi.
Progressive Student Alliance, PROSA, press statement for immediate release. PROSA demands the corrupt 54th National Legislature to legislate the free tuition policy and announces mass assembly at the grounds of the Capitol building on August 24th. Calls on the UL's administration to increase the number of buses on the Fender campus, appoints its second Congress Preparatory Committee CPC, and condemns the July 26 violence. Fellow compatriots and student radicals, ideologues and apologists of egalitarianism, members of the lumpen proletariat class, the helpless old people who are our parents, the minimum wage of domestic laborers, the struggling marketeers, the media and press. We extend Pan-Africanist right-hand salutation to you from the bulwark of revolutionary genuine advocacy, the tripartite sections of the Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia. Concomitantly, the Executive Council, Supreme Council, and General Congress of the Indomitable Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia. PROSA as a campus-based revolutionary institution which seeks to engage national government and all other functionaries with a genuine critical stance on policy and decisions for the sole purpose of making necessary recommendations, has declared the 54th National Legislature as a toothless bulldog, curtailed of corrupt politicians and an enterprise of cruel and semi-consciousness men and women with zero dignity for humanity. Our claims that the 54th National Legislature of Liberia is clustered with corrupt, cruel, and conscienceless individuals are not based on ordinary prejudice, hatred, or envy for those who are supposed to be the lawmakers of our country. Instead, these claims on the revealing realities of the egotistical decisions made by the both houses for time to time. To sit comfortably as a separate branch of the Liberian government without monitoring the affairs of public parochial interest in order to live luxurious life while the masses of our people remain in abject poverty and misery, of lost hope in a faction of bankrupt and corrupt legislature.
Yo, Tufle Budo, yo, corrupt enterprise, yo.
Both of these cartels is the adamant decision of the Liberian House Senate not paying attention to the call for the enactment of the free tuition policy. The free tuition policy at the public university and colleges in Liberia has contributed to the human capacity building of the poverty-stricken poor masses children in recent years. These so-called lawmakers have ignored this plight simply because it is not one of their over-inflicted, insensitive policies. Whereas there is a general consensus intentionally that the right to education is a human right, but this is meant that all people ought to have access to basic education and training. Article 26 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that everyone has a right to education. Equally so, Liberians' constitution guarantees equal access to educational opportunities and facilities for all citizens. And Liberia has ratified the key national and international conventions practicing the right to education. However, inasmuch as the state is capable to actualize these treaties, but our statements are not willing, all of these are ordinary political shenanigans. Nevertheless, this is a recitation our message will have sent to the legislature on countless occasions without getting any feedback. By the fact that Liberia has not budgeted up to 30% education despite global commitments is an issue of political will. Therefore, we urge the legislature to summon the courage to play its role and prioritize the interests of the state. Money must be taken from their boarded salaries and insensitive and other places in their budget to be redirected to education sector of the Republic. Insofar, the National Treasury can invoke 30K for each of these lawmakers for their so-called legislative engagement or operation. The free tuition and watch bills should be not an issue because we are knowledgeable to the reality that the understanding and skills imparted in schools are crucial for people's participation in society.
Tell you, give a situation, give a Zayo.
Free education is to improve the literacy rate of our country and thereby eliminates or reduces the illiteracy rate. Meanwhile, we have written a series of papers calling on the national legislature to sign this bill. While the lower house passed the mandate, the upper house has been on the contrary front. Honor the resilience, gallantry, and relentlessness of the Progressive Student Alliance. These egotics were petitioned, but has been to no avail. For these reasons, the infatigable avant-garde militants of the Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia are going to rally the vast majority of the Liberian students to step in themselves into history on August 24th.
Ideological debate, Zayo. The debate in the student populace, Zayo.
On August 24th, National Flag Day,
the student deserve better.
August 24th, National Flag Day for the purpose of redress. The students are interested in the legislation of the free equity tertiary education and the payment of WACs and not about the normal signing of egotistical bills and book cost concessions by the Liberia Senate. For too long, the issue has been raised profoundly by students, populace, and the avant-garde party will not go to bear incommunicado on this matter to compromise the cause of an egalitarian society. For August 24 has been declared as pass the free tuition and watch bill or leave the state house. Re-echo for August 24 has been declared as pass the free tuition and watch bill or leave the state house. It is other ways. You either comply with the people's interest or you negate the House of Legislature. As part of our major concerns is the lackadaisical attitude of the U.S. administration as it relates to the transportation of students attending classes on the University of Liberia Fender campus. The U.S. Department of Transport is ineffective. It has left the students in reckless abandonment. Consequently, the students are under extreme duress and forcibly restrained to make their way on and off the Fender campus. The already antiquated and deplorable buses on campus are few and petrol-centric. As such, these buses are infinitesimal to commute students from over 5 colleges of the University of Liberia. We have watched the U.S. administration increase transportation fares without opposing such policy, not because we are excited. Make no mistake, we are not too angry, but we are not too happy because we are cognizant of the economic recessions the country is faced with. And the functionaries in the price of gas and oil in recent months. However, we called on the U.S. administration to issue that buses are available to commute students to and fro. Anything contrary to that, an unspecified action will be taken on the Fender campus.
Zayo! Give up buses or resign. Zayo! Do not say the government will give up buses. Zayo!
Meanwhile, PROSA appoints its second Congress Preparatory Committee, CPC, and acquaints the public with inside information as the party gears up for a democratic transition for the first time. PROSA is an institution which believes in the promotion of the rule of law any order. This being so, we respect and adhere to the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia and exercise all provision therefore. Therefore, everything that is being practiced in our national political discourse should be practiced in the youth and student community. The Avant-Garde Party is the annals of political enlightenment and epic center of democracy, as we have always preached democracy as a means to eliminate tyranny against the 51-year-old faction, soup and dictatorship, or the de-infection of certain group of people or an individual in our Liberian society. Notwithstanding, the party has survived approximately 7 years of intimidation and horror of police brutality coupled with concocted and savage propagandistic lies from opposition political parties on the campuses of the University of Liberia, along with some myfits in the public space who are calling themselves politicians. In our 6 years of existence, we have only experienced 2 years of legitimacy, but that does not stop us from exercising or promoting the tenets of democracy and enlightenment in particular. As PROSA gears towards the climax of the tenure of the first Congress, the Revolutionary Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance announces some of its distant cadres in the spirit of moral intelligentsia and rare superiorness to control and direct the affairs of a free, fair, and transparent congressional elections. Therefore, all militant cadres are to adhere to the mandate and ratchet themselves into pari passu. Congress Preparatory Committee, CPC. Luther Goulon, CPC Chairperson. Paul Moe, Secretary General. Jacob Diggs, Co-Chair. Joanna Johnson, Treasurer. Flomo Masakwe, Financial Secretary. Francis Moba, Member. In addition, the Progressive Student Alliance wants to use this medium to condemn all forms of violence, with emphasis on the July 26th incident. PROSA, as an institution that has always spoken against violence, believes in the rule of law and as such encourages all citizens of the country to be law-abiding. We cannot afford to retrogress the historical gains of the country to benefit few political elements. As we envisage a new breed of leaders with complete ideological understanding of the struggle. We say, long live the Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia. Long live. Long live. Long live the fighting spirit of the students of the University of Liberia. Long live. Long live. Long live the citizens of the country. Long live. Long live. Mandanik Africa, the way to sign Maurice Q. Home, approve, Hill of the Way, Mark, chairperson of the Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia.
So, Manda, 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 Manda. And so you just listened to the most powerful press conference being held. And I just known as chairperson on the intellectual discourse of the Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance. We now want to inform the press that we'll take almost 5 questions from the press, and then the chairperson can respond to those questions. Amos.
Yes, so
call your name and the station you are representing.
Thank you. So my name is Prince Moba, and I'm representing Pram FN and Focus on Liberia based in the US. My question, I have 2 concerns, sir. The first has to do with your call for protest to pass the free education bill on the 24th of August. I don't know how possible would that be, or are you taking into consideration what have been characterized by student protests, especially on holidays? Recent, the July 26th protest announced by SUP was disrupted. The second aspect of that question is the legislature is on break. I don't know whether you're aware of that. So what happens if you do not get them to pass the bill? What you will do? You also speak about the delay of the passage of the act is affecting students at the University of Liberia campuses. But I'm also aware that students of the UL campuses are also complained that the free education bill, announced by the president, is not happening in any way. How can you reconcile those 2 statements, sir?
Well, thank you. And the Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia is now going to renege on her responsibility. And this is why we have been very emphatic in the press statement that was just read, that the well-being of the university students remains our primary objective. And this is why on our canopy, we have to show that the issue that has to do with free tuition becomes a reality. It depends who you listen to, company journalists. Those who are saying to you that this free tuition policy is not making sense, but then they should be saying to you they are no longer students of the University of Liberia. That's what they should be saying to you. But in as much as you are a student of this university and you are not paying a dime as it relates to your tuition fees, we think this is a plus and it benefits not only the students of the University of Liberia, but it also benefits their parents as well. And this is why we want this particular bill to be legislated. And this is the 5th time that this institution is calling on the legislature to ensure that they legislate this bill, because we do not want it to be a benevolent from this government. So that after the leadership of George Weah, the next government that will come will say to you, they do not have money. For us, we are not concerned. We care less to know where they're going to take the money from to maintain and continue this particular bill. But what we are saying to you is to ensure that this bill benefits the students of the University of Liberia. And this is the only bill that we think not only the students of the university are going to benefit from, but it's going to benefit their parents as well. So even those who are saying to you that this bill, you have been around, you have followed the politics at the level of the University of Liberia. So students of the state-run university have been complaining since the 70s. So this is not the first time, they will not be the second time. But we are saying to you, those who are complaining must come to the disco and be real to the issues. If you are clear here and say to us that the free tuition policy, is harming your existence here, then what you need to say to us is to jump from the university and go to Stella Maris and go to UMU and go to Cotton. But for us, we think that this is a policy that is having a positive trickle-down effect on the life of ordinary students in the country. And this bill must be accurate. This bill must be legislated so that it becomes a law constituted by the Magna Carta of the country. We do not want it to be a regime policy that after the presidency of George Manuel Weah, and then there ends the free tuition policy. We want this bill to be legislated. And this is why we are calling on the national legislature to ensure that they make this bill, take it as a premiere, then focus, invest their energy on this particular bill. And so, the issue of organizing protestation on the 24th, we want to say to you that if you listen to the release here, the Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia is a non-violent institution, and this is why we believe in citizen action. This is why we believe in the mass convergence of university students holding their placard and calling the attention of the lawmakers to ensure that they can go back and legislate the free tuition policy.
Yeah.
I'm Sylvester Chirople, Spoon TV. Your sister party, the Student Unification Party, has announced another, as they call it, peaceful protest on August 24. And you too coming up that you are going to do a peaceful protest on the same day. Don't you think history could repeat itself looking at the July 26th incident? That's one. Two, why do you think the National Equity Act that you've been advocating for is still being delayed at the House of Senate?
Well, I'm not an official mouthpiece of the Student Unification Party, and I mean I've not followed any press conference for them organizing protestation for the 24th. But even if the date, I think the country is big. I mean, people can restrict themselves to the confines, the better work of the University of Liberia. People can galvanize to the foreign affairs. People can go to the executive mansion. The country is large. So whosoever, I want to protest on that day, so be it. But what we want to say to you, that there's a decision that has been reached by the joint section, the cross section of the Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia, that in as much as the lawmakers have decided to renege on this bill, we will not compromise the revolutionary potency of the Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the University of Liberia. And so, to abolish our protestation is to ensure that this bill be passed, and that the lawmakers must take charge of this bill and say to themselves that let us at least for once put the students of the university interests, in front, and boycott our own selfish, political gains. Gone are those days where lawmakers will be no one have resources. So to see when you have a free tuition policy, we think it's important. Even the people like Delon, this bill must claim the attention of Darius Delon. He was meant up to the opportunity to say to himself that, I mean, we cannot be having politicians serving as talk show hosts. They must not abandon their responsibility and focus on political engagement. They must go back and do the work for which they were elected as Liberia. Not only Delon, but you have Yomi Ganga there. You have Sir Joseph there. We are saying to you that this particular National Equity Act bill is in the interest of the students of the University of Liberia. And they should not provoke the students of the University of Liberia, because if they show you that, like we said to you in our press statement, that they will vacate the legislature.
The legislature has closed. Who are you going to petition on August 24? That's
like
the
I said to you, the legislature has closed. We know, we are fully much aware of that. And this is why the protestation on that day is going to be sending a signal to them that by the time they reconvene, there will be Liberia.
My name is Blamoto from Bana FM. Thank you so much. I mean, the reason why I think more journalists in a particular project on a holiday is taken back of what happened recently. And do you not see yourself being a victim of the little saying that says you should have known better?
No, but my dear brother, let me say to you. Let me quickly write a check one there. Let me say to you that we are not saying that we are going to burn tires like other states. So for us, we are very, very much concerned about the survivability of our militants. We are concerned, and this is why we are saying to you that a non-violent approach is going to be used on August 24th to demand and summon the attention of the 54th National Legislature. So
I'm taking you from non-violent approach. With that being said, what don't you think your executive is drawing board and really think about another day instead of holiday? Because you may go for a very good intent, but what happens in case you are countered?
No. Let me say to you that we will not be countered. We will not be countered, because anyone who comes against us automatically, what you are saying to us is that you are against the National Equity Bill.
Just in
if
case.
you are against it, I mean, we do not anticipate anybody coming to counter protest, because we are saying to you that we are going to go and petition. We are not saying to you, we are not carrying stones.
Where are you
so,
going
as a matter of fact, like we said to you at the 54th National Legislature,
the place empty.
We know we are fully much aware that it's empty. It is predicated upon that we are going to be there.
All
of those lawmakers are residing in this country. All these lawmakers are residing in this country. So even if this place is empty, it is lack, and we are protesting, carrying petition there, they have representatives to send there to come and collect our petition. And by the time they convey, they can go and start to have a conversation on the petition. So it doesn't mean that they have to be into section before we petition.
Hope you are willing to take any responsibility that comes with your
No,
action.
but we are very clear. We are very, very clear. We are men enough, and we take charge of our action. We take responsibility.
Will there be any self-defense just in case you are attacked?
Well, we don't want to say there will be self-defense, because we will not be attacked. Because the militants and cardio under the Avant-Garde Progressive Alliance of the University of Liberia, these are decent and remarkable militants. These are people that understand the terrain and they know how to engage and disengage. So we do not anticipate any, counter protestation on the 24th of August.
Okay, thank you.
Manda,
Folks,
manda,
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 you just listen to the head of the So, folks, thank you so much for watching. We've been coming to you from the main campus of the University of Liberia. I'm Sylvester Chirople. Then bring you this live coverage. Thank you.